Hello and welcome to Battle of the Books. This screencast is designed to get you up and running with your battle this year. We've put together a Google Drive. There you go. We've put together a Google Drive folder that will be in your drive, and also the link will be emailed to you. And as you can see on the first screen of the presentation, the link to your battle resources folder is here. So if I click on that, it'll open right up in my drive, and here's the folder that you will be accessing. It's called Battle of the Books 2013-2014 Resources. So if I click on that, I can see all of the documents that have been scanned and loaded in here for you to check out as you help communicate with your students and with your families. A few housekeeping tips about shared folders like this in Drive. You want to always remember not to take any of the items out of the folder, because if you, for example, moved this book list somewhere, which you don't want to do, that's an example of what not to do. If you moved that book list, it would move it out of the folder for everybody. So if you want to try to access things, don't move them, just open them up. For example, this is a sample introductory letter for families. So if you wanted to change this to meet your needs, you would just file and then download it in Word, and you could modify it in Word. So make sure you don't take anything out of the folder. Okay, so let's talk about what's in the folder. You've got all the documents that you will need for the practice rounds, for introducing your kids to book talks, so lots of good information for you to peruse. So by now, you know a little bit about Battle of the Books. Battle of the Books is a reading incentive program, and a group of librarians and literacy specialists from around the country get together to select the books and to share the list with us. They write all of the questions, and the Boulder Valley School District buys the questions from them. The website that will help you with tips is called battleofthebooks.com. Be careful, there's also a battleofthebooks.org site, which is a similar but different program that we are not doing. So the place you want is battleofthebooks.com. Thank you for being a team manager for your students. Let's see. So all of you are registered, and as we mentioned earlier, the Battle of the Books Google Drive folder will help you to gather text, to introduce text to students, to communicate with families, to do book talks, to access practice questions, and to access the school battle questions. Okay, as you can see, the book list, which is in the docs, I'll open that link. This is the book list. 3rd and 4th grade share the same book list, 5th and 6th grade, 7th and 8th grade, and then there's a high school or young adult, it's referred to on the website, a list as well. And these lists, Barnes & Noble or the Boulder Bookstore can bundle up for you at a 20% discount if you want to purchase them. You also can look at public libraries. We've sent this list to all of the public libraries in Boulder County and in Broomfield, anyone that's related to BVSD, so they know and are on the lookout for those books as well. Some people have had success with exploring ebooks for families that have those resources to read at home or at school on a tablet or something like that. We would like to encourage every child to read every book, but another option is also to have students become experts at particular books and share that with everybody. Let's see. There are links to book talks. These documents are sent to us from battleofthebooks.com as PDF, so we've scanned them in. And here you'll see it just gives the title of the book and a little spiel about the book. It might be fun for your students to find pictures of the books, cut them and paste them from Amazon or whatever, and practice presenting a book talk for their fellow classmates. So there are lots of possibilities for that. Let's get back to the presentation here. You'll see the 5th and the 6th grade book talks as well. Okay, let's talk about the questions. All of the questions begin with, in which book does? So they're all multiple choice questions. And we've included a link to helping kids write their own practice questions. In which book does a character, or in which book is the problem about, things like that. And then, of course, we know that using text evidence is so important. So to go through the process of which page you can find that on and the evidence from the text that supported your thinking will be important also. Okay, so what do you do and when do you do it as a team manager? Here's a suggested calendar. This may not be exactly the way you choose to do it. There's a lot of flexibility as far as how involved team managers are and how intensively you can implement Battle of the Books. Some of our team managers are classroom teachers, some are teacher librarians, some are tag advisors. We have a special education teacher who's on board this year, as well as parent volunteers. And in third grade all the way through high school. So the positions of the team manager are very different. So do what works for you with the calendar. But this is what we would suggest. September and October you've already done. You've assembled your teams and you've registered on the Google Doc. So you can check that off the list. November and December is your time to gather the text, get kids excited with the book talks, decide on a reading calendar to help them pace themselves, and a format for instruction and practice. Are you meeting after school? Are you meeting during a lunch bunch? Is this going to be a club? Will the reading be done mostly at home? Communicating with parents. Begin reading and then support your students to write practice questions if you choose to do so. Then come around January, we will be putting, we have already put the practice battle round questions in the Google Drive. So there's a round A, a round B, and a round C. And those questions have already been scanned, and you can use those in which book is the format, and you can use those practice questions to practice for the battle. Oh, sorry. We got a little bit ahead of ourselves there. If you do one in January, one in February, and one in March, that will put you right up to April, and the students will have had 3 good opportunities to practice the types of questions before the school battle. Now, the school battle, you can do it however and whenever you want, as long as it's completed by April 17th. The questions for the school battle are also in the Google Drive, and by April 17th, we will need the names of the winning team members representing each grade level. And you'll go ahead and send that to me. I'm Heather, and I'll send you a Google form just after spring break. So you can just say, this is my 3rd grade winning team. Here are the kids' names. This is my 7th grade winning team. Here are the kids' names. And each school can have one winning team representing each grade level. Now, you don't have to have a team from each grade level, and that's fine too. And then the actual district battle will be on Saturday, April 26th. We haven't done it on a Saturday before. The last 3 years it's been on a Friday afternoon, but we're getting so big and the battle was getting later and later into the evening on Fridays. So we're going to try the Saturday model this year and see how that works. The literacy department is currently working on some permission forms and an exact location that'll be big enough to support everybody. Originally, I believe I'd mentioned to some of you that we would be doing it at the Ed Center, but we wonderfully had too much interest. So we'll probably be at a high school, and we will keep you posted on which high school we will be using for the Battle of the Books. All right, so how do you practice? There are a few different ways that you can do the practice rounds. The first one is good old-fashioned paper and pencil. The pro of this is that there are no potential tech issues. Cons is that you'll need to grade it manually and it's not consistent with the district battle process. The way we will hold the district battle is by using a new web-based service called Clicker School. So Clicker School is similar to the old clickers that you've probably seen and that we have used in the Battle of the Books in the past, except that you don't need all of the hardware, and it's web-based. And I'll show you how that works now. The pros of using Clicker School, if you choose to play with Clicker School and practice with your students, is that the practice round questions will be loaded for you. I think I've done about 2 practice round questions right now, but we'll continue to load them in, so they'll all be ready for you. It'll be consistent with the format that we're using for the district battle. It integrates pretty cool technology in a way that you might want to use for other parts of your day. It'll give real-time information, so you'll know immediately who your winning team is. Now, possible cons is that you will need for teams or students to have access to the computers or devices. You'll need the time to familiarize yourself with Clicker School. And Clicker School is working on a few bugs. There's nothing huge. The one that really is the most problematic is that when kids click on the right answer, it doesn't highlight it for them, or when they click on an answer, it doesn't highlight it for them. We're talking to the company about that, and they're working on it. But we still feel like the pros outweigh the cons for Clicker School. And it's the best thing out there on the market that we've been able to find to provide this type of real-time live polling quiz. So if you think you might want to play with Clicker School, next part of the presentation is for you. If you're not ready to go there yet, you can go ahead and log off and listen to this later on in the year when you are ready. You probably won't need to actually use Clicker School until you're ready to do the practice round A, practice round B, and practice round C, which probably will not be until January. But I'll walk you through it, and then you'll always have this in your drive for when you're ready. So you go ahead and go into Clicker School, and that's your login. The district has purchased a login for us, and we'll all use my email to log in, and the password is Battle 2013. Then you'll start an activity right here, and the one that we want to start is a live poll, so that enables you to show the questions on the projector. So see how we have yes checked up here, and while the questions are going on the projector, your students can be answering from either iPad or a laptop. We haven't tried it with Chromebooks yet, but we'll be doing that soon, and we'll keep you posted on how the Chromebooks work. And then you'll go into the ELA 3-4 folder. No matter what grade you're in, all of the practice rounds and the school battle quizzes will be stored in this folder. And let's say, for example, I want to choose a 3rd, 4th battle round practice A. Then this is what I would choose. We also have this quiz in here, Clicker School Teacher Practice. That's not related to Battle of the Books. It's just a short 5-question quiz that we put on there so you can practice how it works without actually using any of the battle round questions. So you might want to play around with that as well. Okay, then it's asking you, are you sure this is the quiz that you want? So you say, yes, I'd like to use that quiz. Then you skip entering the students' names because the students will enter their names when they log on and join your session that you're creating. So it's asking you to continue because your students will enter their own names using a smartphone or a laptop. Okay, now here it's asking you, you are the host as the teacher. How will you control this session? If you have a computer with some computers, you'd want to choose the web, and I'm finding that for other computers, you'd want to choose mouse. So try both of them. I know that doesn't sound like the best advice, but I've asked the company exactly what the difference is between these. But if you're likely using a computer hooked up to a projector, you can choose web or mouse. And then the participants will be responding using most likely the web if they're on a laptop or they're on an iPhone, anything that is web-based where they'll be going to a website. So you click web and web, or you could have chosen mouse, and go to next. Okay, and then it gives you a session ID. So your session ID is FYW, and it could be anything. It generates 3 different letters every time you launch this quiz. And all the students will do, or you will do for them, is go to this website. And it'll ask them for the session ID, and they put in this. So from the student end, they haven't had to do anything so far, except you would have this website logged in or up on their screen or bookmarked already when they go sit down to take the quiz. Now this is what your teacher screen will look like. It says Start Session. So the teacher starts the session here, and then once it starts, the kids can start joining it. So let's say, for example, the students are on an iPad or on a computer. They go onto this website and then they enter the session. They enter their name. For this example, we did Pioneer 4th. You can have the students actually enter their names if you're having individual students practice. For the district battle, we'll have Pioneer 4th, Fireside 5th, Casey Middle School 8th. So that's the way we'll work it so we can tell. Okay, and then this is the message that the student will get. You are connected, waiting for further instructions. And this is back on the teacher side. This is how you control going to the menu, going to the next page. Okay, so the student will see the question and the answers, and they know that they're waiting on the teacher to launch the quiz. Here's the attendance, so you can see who's logged in to this quiz. Okay, the teacher pushes A to show all the answers. You click A to start the poll or the quiz. And then here you can see that F3, Fireside 3, has already answered this. When it turns green, then you know that everyone's answered. So you go ahead and stop the timer at 30 seconds. People have 30 seconds to answer, and you'll be able to see if there's a box. This only has one participant, but if you had 5 participants, once they all turn green, you would know everybody answered. And then you can show the answer. Click B. And then they know the answer to this question was A, the book Born to Fly. And then you go to the next question. So I know that's a lot of information for Clicker School. Clicker School is really fun to play around with. I think it has lots of possibilities for supporting instruction in an interactive way for kids. But it's not something that you need to do by any stretch of the imagination to participate in Battle of the Books. You're more than welcome to use paper and pencil questions for practice rounds. They're all loaded in the Google Drive. If you're interested in learning more about Clicker School, just go for it. Use the login that we gave you, and you can always contact me, heather.hansen@bvsd.org. Just as a side note, I'm a 0.5 FTE, so I try to get back to people as quickly as I can, but if a day or two goes by, it might not be a day that I'm at work, so I will get back to you as fast as I can. Alrighty, let the battles begin, and we are here for you if you have any further questions. Thanks for watching.